I hope you're ready for the final tally, because it's time for the Survivor finale. So before the finale aired, this is what I tweeted. Are we going to get bitter, sore loser RC tonight? Or I'm over it RC? I'm hoping for bitter. We'll definitely get at least 4 crazy, nervous laughs. Okay, we'll see if you're right. So in the beginning of the show, Mike Skupin says that second or third place means nothing to him. So Mike Skupin, Lisa, Denise, and Malcolm come back to camp after voting out Abi Maria, and they're celebrating. Apparently, no one wants to win Survivor. So up next is the reward challenge, and this one is called the Dragon. Oh, I can't wait for this one, the Dragon. It's gotta be hosted by Coach, right? No? Okay, it's called the Dragon, so the losers are gonna have to spend the afternoon with Coach, right? No? Then why is this thing called the Dragon? Well, anyway, this challenge involves a lot of untying of knots, which, as we know, is Abi Maria's wheelhouse. Too bad she got voted out last week. The challenge also involves doing a dragon puzzle, and we're reminded that Mike Skupin, not so good at puzzles. Malcolm, on the other hand, is great at puzzles. In fact, I'd like to see him versus Boston Rob in a puzzle challenge. Just not in another season of Survivor, though. So Malcolm wins the reward challenge, and the reward is an advantage in the final immunity challenge, which most people think Malcolm doesn't need. So back at camp, Denise approaches Malcolm about a final 3 deal, and Malcolm's like, and that's not too reassuring. So Denise pitches a final 3 to Mike Skupin and Lisa. As it turns out, Malcolm wants to get rid of Denise. He wants to go to the final 3 with people he can beat. So, why did you get rid of Abi Maria again? And more importantly, why is this your final 4 then? So Lisa wants to take the deal with Denise, but Mike Skupin is leaning towards the deal with Malcolm. So Lisa says that she always hated when Abi Maria said that you have to keep Mike Skupin on a short leash. But apparently, you have to keep Mike Skupin on a leash. So up next, we have Fallen Comrades. And I personally love this part of the finale. So I'm gonna do my own version of Fallen Comrades. Zane. He actually said that his whole tribe folded after he left the game. Yeah, I don't remember that. Isn't half of the final 4 made up of ex-Matt Singh members? Roxy. Ah, glory gabadada salabatata. LMNOP. OMG. Angie. I miss Angie. I could have done a whole season of Survivor reviews talking about Angie and Abi Maria. Oh, and by the way, I'm sick of the cookie jokes, so I'm sure she is by now. Russell. Dana. She said she definitely had the heart for this game, and at the end, it was all heart. So you quit the game at the end when it was all heart. Doesn't that mean you didn't have the heart for the game? Dawson. I love me some Dawson. It's a shame she left the game so early. Katie. Now, in case you don't know, Katie wants to be a cop, but after seeing her perform in the challenges, maybe fashion police is more her speed. RC. Jeff Kent. What month is it? Oh, it's Movember. Every day. What's up, Artis? I like Artis. He's a good man. Unfortunately, he and Mike Skupin don't mix. It's like oil and water. Not so Vanilla Pete. I'd actually like to see him have another crack at this game. Jonathan Penner. This guy is built to lose Survivor, but I enjoy watching him every time. Carter.
Well, you know, guys, it's just, what's to say to them? That's what I don't know.
Abi Maria.
Cannot you see? I love the Abi Maria. Now get out of my face!
So up next is the immunity challenge. And in this challenge, you have to balance your ball on your wood. And since Malcolm won reward, he gets an advantage in this challenge. And it doesn't help him, because he's the first one out. In fact, the old Matt Singh proves that they're just a bunch of losers, because both Malcolm and Denise are the first ones out of this challenge. So it's down to the remaining members of
Tandangadang.
And as it turns out, Mike Skupin wins the challenge. And he proves yet again that if anybody knows how to control their balls, it's the guy with 7 kids. So going into Tribal Council, Denise and Malcolm are on the hot seat. Unfortunately, Malcolm fell short of my expectations this season. Maybe he can redeem himself in a future season. But he also falls short of winning this game. And I really don't have any sympathy for him, because he was instrumental in building this Final Four. And no true Survivor gamer would build a Final Four like that. Better luck next time. So let's check in on the final Ponderosa and see what's going on over there. We're treated to 2, count them, 1, 2, crazy, misplaced, nervous laughs from RC. By the way, these are bonus laughs. They won't count towards the total for the night. Because this is Ponderosa. It's not the actual Survivor broadcast on TV. Also, Carter says that he's gonna bring the heat with his jury question at the final Tribal Council. I'm guessing he's gonna bring the lukewarm. I'm just saying. So back at camp, we end up with one of the strongest final 3s that I can remember. Mike Skupin brings a lot of Survivor history with him. Lisa has evolved a lot during this game. And she's actually one of the better strategists this season, believe it or not. As for Denise, she's a witch, but she's a tenacious witch, and she deserves to be here. I'm not going to feel cheated at all when one of these 3 win. So let's go to the final Tribal Council. I'm going to have to give Denise a point for the best opener. And I'm going to have to give Lisa a point for not backing down during the more aggressive questions. So let's touch on the highlights. Apparently they've legalized weed at Ponderosa. RC treats us to 5 more crazy laughs. Abi Maria says,
You all call me most unlikable person in tribe. My heart, it's broken. Cannot I see who I vote for tonight? Lisa, why should I vote for you? Moron stupid? You talk about outwit, outplay, outlast, but I do not think that this game is about out-disrespect. Stupid. The Denise, I was demoralized by you. I was made look this little. Very small.
Jonathan Penner must have been eating a lot of cheese at Ponderosa because he looked a little constipated. He told Denise that she was a witch, except he pronounces his W's like a B. He reminds everybody that Mike Skupin has never had a vote cast against him in this game. And he also says that Mike probably won't get a vote cast for him at tonight's Tribal Council. And last but not least, he reveals Lisa's past as a child star. So Jonathan gets a point for having the best juror speech. So who's gonna win Survivor Philippines? So the winner is Denise, and she deserves it. So let's touch on the highlights of the reunion show. Mike Skupin doesn't win $1 million, but he gets a shattered mask. Oh yeah, and he also gets $100,000 for presumably tying for second place with Lisa. Russell apparently only owns purple shirts. Jeff Probst says that Dana was evacuated. I don't remember an evacuation. I do remember a quit, though. Jeff Probst also compares Malcolm to Ozzy. Hold on there, Jeff! Just because Malcolm sort of looks like the 3rd incarnation of Ozzy doesn't mean he's anywhere close to Ozzy. Now, at the beginning of the night, I wondered if we'd get Bitter RC or I'm Over It RC. Apparently, we get Bitter RC, and that's what I hoped for, and pretty much expected. And Lisa wins Player of the Season. So let's seal this one with a kiss. Dawson steals a kiss from Jeff Probst and creates one of the best Survivor reunion show memories that I can think of. So that's it for this week and this season. So what you need to do is hit the subscribe button right down here. You need to follow me on Twitter, Tout, and Facebook at SurvivorTrev. Now just a heads up, I'm probably not going to do the Survivor review for Fans vs. Favorites next season. Now don't get me wrong, I love doing this show. But I want to be known as the guy who won Survivor, not the guy who just talks about Survivor. And there's only one way to do that, and that's to actually play the game. Now, word on the street is, the more visible that this show is, the less likely it is that I'm going to get cast to actually play Survivor. So I'm just going to pump the brakes a little bit. But don't worry, the Survivor review will return. Now, just because I'm not doing this show next season doesn't mean I'm going to stop commenting on Survivor. I'm still going to live tweet every episode of Survivor. So you can follow me on Twitter and still get my Survivor thoughts every Wednesday night during the East Coast feed. Anyway, I'll see you guys next time.